Yeah, I'll take out some of that, but put in what you were
Yeah.
just saying there. I'll tweak it up a little bit for you.
Yeah, I'll tweak it.
Tweak, a little tweak here, a little tweak there, tweak here, tweak everywhere, tweak, tweak.
I
I
will
just had my
say,
intro. Anyway, all rise. The Lincoln Law Pod is in session. On this episode of the Lincoln Law Pod, we'll be discussing Season 4, Episode 1, titled 7211956. It was written by Ted Humphrey and Dalen Rodriguez and was directed by Ted Humphrey as well. In this episode, Mickey challenges the dubious traffic stop that landed him behind bars as Haller and Associates strains under the weight of the looming murder trial. Alrighty, welcome back, Tracey, to our Lincoln Law Pod. It's been forever since we've had some new
yes,
episodes to discuss. How have you been?
good. When I was listening to the Proving Ground novel on Audible, I was really missing the show.
Same,
So,
same.
yeah, it just really, I was like, we've got to get the show back soon.
Yes, yeah. I
So,
was I was re-listening to the Lincoln or the Law of Innocence, which this
uh-huh.
season 4 is based off of. I started listening to that again this week, so it's Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday at work, Thursday. So I was right towards the end. I have like maybe 12, 15 minutes left of the book, but I'm like, I'm gonna start the show anyways. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I already know what
Yeah.
happens. I've already
I
listened to the book so
already know
many
what
times.
happens.
Exactly. So you and I both read the books. I can't remember if Jay did. I was going to ask him if he had jumped in here, but we miss you, Jay. Please come in sometime to talk with us.
Yes,
Um,
please.
do you know if
Yeah,
Jay reads the
historically,
novels?
historically he has. I don't know if he's
Okay.
current on everything, but yes, historically reader of the books.
Awesome. Because something happened in this first episode I was going to ask you about that we didn't see in the book. We see at the start of the trial, or not trial, that they have motions about trying to get the evidence of the video surveillance footage from Officer Collins' body cam and dash cam. So we see this green prosecutor at the table, a Mr.
Mr.
Richards,
Richards.
who gets the
Yeah.
call as court's starting, and he's like, "Oh, can I have 2 minutes to take this call?" So, the judge says 2 minutes and, motions to outside. And as he's exiting, Dana Berg comes in and she's like, Dana Berg for the prosecution. So I was just curious, did you think that was a game by the DA's office here? Because that wasn't covered in the book at all. So I was just curious of what your thoughts on that was that.
I didn't think too much. I didn't think too much about it in that regard, but it did. I don't know if it was could have possibly been just like a little haha for the show because remember last season we thought that the replacement prosecutor was going to be pretty green as well. And
Yes.
then he turned out to be really sharp, you
Yes. A
know.
shark.
So I thought it was yeah, yeah, or that. So I thought it was a little bit of a play on that maybe, but that's all I thought about it.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
didn't I haven't I did not listen to the book again recently. So it didn't strike me in that way.
Okay, because like I
But
said, I started reading the book or listening to the book and
yeah.
saw like Dana Berg was there from the start and type of
Okay.
thing. So I was just
Yeah.
curious if you thought maybe it was a ploy by the DA's office or something, but
It would be a good one. I mean, they were certainly
exactly.
surprised by it.
And then one thing before we get into our favorite moments from this episode is I'm really hoping that so in the book it's a different officer that pulls him over name wise. But
Okay.
one of the notes I put down is I really hope that this officer is involved some way with this setup on Mickey, the
Yeah.
frame job. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that same way or if it might paint the LAPD in a bad light as some shows do. But I really hope that Collins is involved with this just so they can
Right.
take him down a peg type of thing. Or
Well, we've certainly had dirty cops in the Michael Conley universe
yes,
all along. So I could see that happening. And yes, I feel like I need it to be a little more involved. I'm hoping for it to be a little more involved than just some kind of payoff, like
yes,
just a little more deeply embedded, like just for more interest.
yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So,
hoping for too. Just a little bit of interest. We know they change things here and there from the book to the
right.
show, just to because you can't make the show exactly how the book is. It's like,
Mm-mm.
oh, I know that was coming. I knew this was coming.
Right.
So it's fun to
And the
kind
same
of
things that, sorry to interrupt, the
no.
same things that work as you're reading or listening don't present exact the same way when
Yep,
you're watching something. Some things are more effective when they're a little different when you're watching, I think, or vice versa.
exactly. I
So,
agree. So I like
but
the little
yeah,
changes here and there.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, let's see here. And then one last thing I just kind of wanted to note here was of all the times we've been saying over the last couple seasons how many times Mickey needs surveillance cameras at his place
Oh
or
gosh,
a ring camera. The one time where, yeah, he has them,
has them.
but they were disabled, it's like, oh, great. So,
Yeah.
alrighty. So let's get into our favorite moments. What did you have for a top favorite moment?
Oh, well, it's not favorite in an I liked it kind of way, but as far as how active it was and what the emotion that it brought when he's getting scanned at the door there's putting his wrist through
Hmm.
the at his cell, he just looks so broken and so sad. And it especially the first time watching it through, I just felt so pained for him. It was just a striking contrast to him trying to, he was positive and optimistic with Lorna, and then he's trying to put on a good, presentation for Haley and
Yep.
Maggie. And then when he's back there by himself, it was just like, and just like scanning him, like, like not even human, it
Yes.
was just really tough.
Yeah, for me it was the obviously if our listeners are still listening, if we still maintain our listeners, if you guys listen to any podcasts with Ballard and Bosch Legacy and last season of Lincoln Lawyer, I'm into camera shots, camera angles,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the opening shot that they use for this episode of the
Hmm.
season, and it's like a drone shot. I'm hoping we can set up some interviews with the directors and writers and so I can kind of find out if it was an actual drone shot or if it was
Hmm.
CGI'd. But yeah, you kind of get this downtown aerial shot, and then it zooms out to a suburb of LA, and it
Hmm.
zooms down to a crime scene that had taken place
Yeah.
earlier with and it comes into play that Mickey Holler's talking to apparently the driver of the person that was driving the car that caused this drive-by, but zooming in through a bullet hole of the glass and then seeing the crime scene and then going
Yeah.
outside. I love camera shots like that. I don't know who sets those up, if it's the cinematographer or the director himself. I don't know how it's done. I'd love to learn more about how they do certain scenes like that, of how they do that. So,
Yeah, it was cool. And it can really, make a big difference in the telling of the story. Having that
yep.
visual like that is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, plus the narration of Mickey talking
Right.
about how many murder
Hmm.
cases there were in the previous year in 187 Penal Code, and then he mentions like the prosecution has this big tree and it's trying to water it and
Yeah.
keep it preserved, and he's the man with an axe. Of course, he tells the person that's sitting across from him, he asks, "And you're the man with the axe, right?" He's like, "No, no, you're screwed, but
Yeah, not for your case.
not for your case, but I'm the man with the axe for my case. But good luck to you." But yeah, so yeah, it was nice opening. I like I said, I just love scenes like that. So I
Hmm.
love the attention to detail that it kind of puts you in there. Like we've said with all the other Conley shows, LA is a character of the show. So I just love
Right.
seeing
Yeah,
that. So
for
any other
sure.
moments you have written down?
I imagine we'll probably get to some of them with some of the other topics. So,
Alrighty. Another one that I had written down is I still haven't been inside this building, Bradbury building.
yes, I
Have
thought
you
about
ever been
you.
inside?
I haven't, and I thought about you trying to go the last time you were there, I think.
All three
Oh,
times.
all three times.
All
Okay,
three
and it's
times
always
I've tried to go
closed.
inside because the first year I was there, it was like just post pandemic. It was
Hmm.
2021 when they were filming season one of Bosch Legacy. And so the building was closed. My second trip there, they had some kind of bike thing going on. So they had the building closed.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
last time we were there was some unrest in the city because of certain things going on. And so the building was closed again. I'm like,
Yeah.
when is this building ever open?
My frustration with that, looking back, is I was, when you're visiting Angel's Flight, you're very close to it, and I didn't
Yep.
realize it at the time. And I was like, oh, we
Oh,
should have gone by there and tried to go inside, but I just didn't put it together on that
yeah.
visit. So
I'm like,
one of
I'm
these
like,
days,
one of these days, I might actually have to reach out to somebody who has some kind of connection or something. It's like, can you
please.
please, if it's closed, can you please pull some strings and get me inside there just so I can take a look around, take some pictures? Because the inside of Bradbury building is beautiful in the scene where Lorna and Maggie meet up for coffee and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
discussing, but also led to one of the funnier lines is that, Lorna says that Mickey is psychotically optimistic and she kind of wants to choke him, and Maggie's like, "Oh, I know that guy."
I know that, Mickey. Yeah.
So yeah, it was funny to hear that, funny to see, and like I said, good to see the interior of the Bradbury building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
So
very cool. Very
makes you
cool.
miss LA, I tells you, even though I haven't seen the inside of it.
I mean, Lorna was definitely, she had some other things that were on my list. It's just some of her, she was very funny in this episode. She was very overworked and stressed, but she always just, I think she uses humor as a tool to
Yep,
kind of, keep herself going and
yep.
motivated.
Yeah, I love the Lauren to find out that Death Row Dana has another nickname, Iceberg.
Yeah.
So
And
like,
apparently she has several. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Uh,
funny just seeing Lorna kind of perk up whenever stuff is that. And then what
the
else do
one
I
that
have written down?
well,
But
the one that got me was when she was talking about having trouble. Are you having trouble getting the discovery? That conversation with Maggie, and
yep,
she said it in just with so much emotion. It's like pulling teeth from an angry walrus. That was just such a great visual.
exactly. Yeah, it's
I
funny.
can't.
You get a visual by even just listening to the line. It's so funny when that happens.
Yeah.
It's the same thing caught in my head too. So I just found that really amusing. It was
Yes.
amusing.
She always is. She always
Yes.
is.
The other thing I have written down is it was sad seeing all the clients pulling away from the law firm too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lorna was meeting with somebody who was a grand theft.
Oh,
I had it written down.
that stole the merchandise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had it written
It
down.
was grand theft. It's just grand
It is
theft.
grand
It's not.
theft. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when yeah, I have actually had to write down her name because I didn't she didn't say her name. You had to find out when Lorna comes in to scratch the name off the board. It was Cassandra something here. Oh well, Cassandra something, but yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, it was difficult seeing, but I also like the camera work there as well. Lorna's talking to one client and it's a client across the table, and then she's talking again and the camera goes back and it's a different person and
Right.
she's saying, "Oh, I'm caught up with narcotics and money laundering, especially money laundering." And it was just funny back and forth there with the switching up of clientele. So,
And then Mr. Bieber, that was just a
yes.
fun name choice.
At first I thought they were going to pan back and it would have been Justin Bieber, I thought. I
I
thought for
briefly
sure.
thought that too. Yeah, I was like,
You
what?
did too. Okay, so I
Yeah.
wasn't the only one. Good.
Uh,
Yeah, but I other than I didn't care for his attitude, but he did have a good line where he says, I hired the Lincoln lawyer, not legally blonde."
oh yeah,
It was a
yeah.
dig on Lauren, I get it, but so it was
Mm-hmm.
good writing, good written
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
comeback there. So the moment that kind of stuck out to me too, kind of like in your case where you're saying how defeated Mickey looked at towards the end of the episode, was seeing Haley walk away from him for their visitation. It's like
Yeah.
he comes in, he's all smiles, and then when Haley sees that everybody's being scanned, like roll call type of thing, she gets up and says she has to go to the bathroom, and then Mickey telling Maggie that he doesn't want her visiting him at the prison anymore. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, come on. You told clients in the past you got to keep that connection with family and
Right.
stuff. And
Like with Julian last
yes.
year, and I immediately thought of that.
Same, because he even said, I've told clients, or clients have told me that before, and I've
Yeah.
never understood why, but now I understand. So you kind of see that defeat kind of creeping in there a little bit
Mm-hmm.
with Haley walking away from him. So that kind of hit me in the feels right there. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so let's move on to our character spotlights. Alrighty, what do you got? Who do you have for a character spotlight?
Well, I think I'll go with Lorna because she's
Okay.
just so busy during the whole thing. And I was starting to feel bad for her. She's always sort of the hero in the background. She
Hmm.
doesn't get all the glory and everything, but she keeps that machine running
Yes.
anytime. But then, especially in difficult times, she turns it up a notch. And no matter what the issue is, whether it was getting all the calls the one season and she just keep answering the phone, and then this losing clients and trying to salvage clients, and she just I think it's a bit much to ask of her. you know
Yes.
like Mickey's a hero in plenty of ways, but she just puts in the physical time and energy, to keep the place going. And you can tell Cisco's kind of worried about her,
Yep.
and Maggie, you can kind of see it on her face that oh, this is really intense,
Yeah.
which thank goodness she threw her a bone. And, well, I mean, I don't mean it that way, but she gave her the tip about the Rodriguez file, something to kind of help move things along because they were kind of stuck and she was so busy working on everything. Yeah, so I spotlighted her, put the spotlight on her because of the great stuff she's doing, but then I just feel like maybe it should be somebody sometimes,
Mm,
it's not that that's bad storytelling or anything. I don't mean it in that regard, but I just feel bad for the character.
yes.
That, oh, she's having to come through again for everybody and stay strong and keep things moving.
Yeah,
So,
as soon as like it's almost like two steps forward, one step back type of thing
yeah,
for her
yeah.
character. She gets the law degree, but now she's swamped with everything. Or like when
Yeah,
she was
and they're
telling,
minimizing her compared to Mickey. She has the
yes,
law degree, but then it's like that's not enough.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
like she was telling that Cassandra lady, it's like I am the most senior associate. And Cassandra's like, you're the only associate.
Yeah.
But I can't be affiliated with, or I can't be associated with criminals, even though she is one. So it's like,
Yeah.
really?
Those were some funny interviews. Yeah.
Exactly. And one of the other things I wanted to ask, so Lorna seems to have gotten a new client that came in.
Yes,
Do you
yes.
think this is going to be a big payday for the firm, or do you think it's going to be kind of a one and done episode or a one and done storyline for
Hmm,
this season?
that's a good question. I would say it's probably going to be a big payday unless it's somehow, I mean, I can't picture a scenario, but I was like, wait a minute, what if this big payday client is somehow connected to some other stuff somehow?
Yeah.
I don't know, just that part of my mind that's a little pessimistic or just curious, like could there be something more to this? So I've
Yeah.
I've only seen the one episode, so I don't know. But so my first thought would be, yeah, it should be a good payday for
Yeah.
them.
I had the same feelings because I'm like, at first I'm like, it's kind of convenient that she's just walking in saying that she can't
Yeah,
get through on the phones. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm really hoping this will be the payday that kind of not really puts like rights the ship, but at least puts them above water a little bit.
keeps
Because
them afloat. Yep.
keeps them afloat because they're losing
Yeah.
all these clients. So, like she said, she's lost five clients, but she gained one. So,
Right.
kind of mix the good with the bad. And speaking of side eye or kind of looking at things kind of curiously, so one of the spotlights I had was, do we like this Grace character for Izzy? We know
Yeah.
she's had some bad luck with her ex, from
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the dance studio going, and then she got
Right.
that she gave access to the to Henry Dahl for the Lincoln to get that contract back.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ray,
Okay,
her
so
last ex, yeah,
yes,
basically betrayed her.
yeah,
So
betrayed her, so it was kind of hard to see that. So I had on my notes here. So my character spotlight is Grace. I'm hoping this
mm-hmm.
isn't just a one-time character pop up. Hey, let's play some arcades, let's have some fun,
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. So I'm really hoping that this is a new, fresh start for Izzy. I kind of
Yeah.
thought that last year when her friend got that the contract with that Lorna
Oh
went
yeah.
through.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought that when I think I mentioned this during the podcast last season where you see her walking out, her friend, I can't remember her friend's name, Kat.
Yeah.
Kat. When Kat's walking out of the office, you kind of see Izzy looking at her, and then she says, "Is it bad that I'm feeling jealous about her getting this opportunity?"
Mm-hmm.
At first,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it could have been like a romantic interest, but it turned out that she was kind of jealous that Kat's gotten this opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that this Grace character is one that will stick around through the whole season with her and for her. And it seems like they have nice chemistry. So I'm hoping it's also not that whole thing where it's like, okay, this girl just pops up in the paralegal class with Izzy. Is she, somehow affiliated with the prosecution? So yeah.
Well, I was thinking it's hard to, unless you have a lot of time, it's hard to sort of show relationships, sort of showing interest and building and like feeding the flame, or whatever. You need a lot of time usually to
Hmm.
kind of see something actually develop. So it seemed a little bit out of the blue, for us. And it seemed like Grace she was, I don't say she's trying really hard, but she was definitely making an effort to try to make sure she got there and she stayed and
Yeah.
waited for her when everybody left. So, she's either, yeah, very interested and just happy to show that or but it did raise a little suspicion in me too, especially when
Okay.
she said our bosses know each other and
Yep.
it's like, okay, is this just new and fresh and she's excited or is there something more to this?
Yeah.
So,
When she did say that line about their bosses know each other, I thought maybe Tony Walsh. The we've
oh,
seen him
that
pop
would
up
be a
back in
good one.
season one, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and he handed off some cases to him when he was in the hospital
Right.
after in season 2 there. So I thought maybe
Yeah,
it
that would
was
be
it
a good tie-in.
was it Tony Walsh? So I'm curious if we're going to see him this season.
Yeah.
Little group get together or something like that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Um, yeah. So the other character spotlight I want to do is Cisco. Chasing
Mm-hmm.
down leads, trying to find out information from clients that might have hated Mickey.
Yeah.
But I loved seeing the board. You got
A
people
lot
who,
of names.
yes. Well, did you see the ones for Sam Scales? It
Oh,
was
maybe that was his part that
that
I
was
was like,
his. Mickey
okay.
was on the left, and then it was Sam Scales, and it was like
Okay.
all these organizations and everything. I'm like,
Yikes.
why would
Yeah,
these all
it
these
went so fast.
organizations hate Mickey? And then I took a closer look on my second
Ah,
watch through, and it's like people who hate Sam Scales. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
yeah. Yeah.
But it was all these organizations, the MAD and just tons of all these organizations raising money for
All these
people.
charities and stuff. Yeah.
Charities, yes. It was hilarious to see that. Anything else you had written down from your notes here for anything you wanted to
Well,
bring up?
Mama Elena
Yes.
resurfaces on the phone, and I was like, "Oh, she's so bright and cheery, and she's likable, but
Hmm.
she's so bad to Mickey sometimes, because it's all about her, and we learned that
Yes.
in the other season, but it's just like, oh, she really is kind of selfish."
Yes.
you know, but wanting him to be available to walk her down the aisle and stuff. But it was a fun surprise. I hadn't heard anything about her being back.
Yeah. I was
So I don't know if it
surprised
was
too.
just a little cameo or what, but it
I
was
know.
fun to see her.
Well, obviously, if he's got to walk her down the aisle, hopefully she pops back in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see if this wedding actually takes place. You know how all those actresses are. It's
So
like we're getting
fickle.
married. Oh, never mind, we're not getting married.
Yeah, it's convenient that's her agent. Okay.
Yes.
Is that a good idea?
Exactly. It's like, what did she say? Yeah, I know it's a conflict of interest. It's like, okay.
That was pretty comical too, on just on the prison side where the guy's waiting for the phone and Mickey's just trying to get off the phone with her, and he's like,
Yep.
"Excuse me, almost done," kind of
Yeah, it's
thing.
like
And
1 minute.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's in prison. This is terrible." And
Exactly.
you're asking for this stuff, this guy's waiting, and then when they have that step back and forth when Mickey's
Yep.
trying to exit, it's just all really awkward.
Yeah.
And
Even the way Mickey walks away after that, he's kind of looking back and the guy looks back gruffly at him and then he's like, oh,
yeah,
he's like checking his watch if he had a watch.
right, pretend watch.
Yeah, one more thing I wanted to highlight was the mantra that Mickey keeps repeating to
Yeah,
himself, especially at
yeah.
the end of the episode. It's like, I'm the man with the axe, I'm the man with the axe. It's a great mantra, great line. It's a little too long to say, verbatim on the podcast here, but it just goes into detail
Hmm.
of how like I said, the narration, bringing the books in, or bringing the what's from the books into these episodes, or this one
Hmm.
in particular. So
Well, it's just another clever way that the show is so good at explaining the legal jargon and the legal process by
hmm
using this sort of the example of the tree,
yep,
this image or this story, not a parable, but you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
to try to explain the idea of how the prosecution works and what you have to be as it's just an interesting, a little more tangible way to explain how things kind of work, in a murder trial. Yes, he's in prison. This is a bad situation. It's this way because it's supposed to reflect him not looking as well. But Mickey looked really good with the beard. I liked the
yes,
look. So I thought he looked very handsome.
yeah,
And of course that had to go for the hearing. I was just like, Tracy, they're doing this to make him look, run down and, not as
yep.
good. But he still looks good.
Yes, he does. I mean, not only that, but the way Lorna kind of puts it, where she was handing the clippers, and it's like you look like a hobo, but that totally looks good on you, Cisco. And
Right, it works
yeah,
for you, Cisco.
works for you, Cisco. But yeah, I did like the beard too, because when you first see him, it's like, oh yeah, he's been in jail for 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just like I said, just the way they were setting up the beginning of the episode here, I loved it. The music too. It's like out having
Hmm.
fun in the California sun.
Yeah, that contrast from inside the prison and then outside the prison.
Yep, to Maggie and Haley driving up from San Diego and Cisco cruising the streets of LA there, and Lorna having that one criminal client. That's the other thing I wanted to put in there is for that Cassandra girl. I hope, or
Uh-huh.
Cassandra lady, I hope it comes back and she tries to come back to have them represent her because whoever she got as a lawyer is trying
Oh,
to make her take a
it-
plea or something.
yeah. And
I
then
hope
Lorna
that
turns her
comes.
down.
Yes, I'm hoping it comes back around where maybe this client that she gets for the divorce, it's like there's a big payday there. So
Mm.
this Cassandra person comes back, it's like, oh, I messed up. Any chance you can take my case? Oh, I think we'll pass. Because you didn't want to be
Yeah.
associated with criminals. So
Yeah.
bye, bye now.
That
Bye.
would be a nice moment.
Yes. So I'm hoping that I wrote that down on my notes. I'm like, oh, I really hope she gets her comeuppance somehow down the line or right away. Why not? But any other notes you got before we get to our Sparks meter? Here's the time to
Um,
say them.
that just the whole concept that bail was not a priority for Mickey,
Hmm.
that is a way of him sacrificing. Like I was talking about Lorna always having to sacrifice, but he just like clearly said, no, we're not gonna worry about that. We got to worry about these other things. I can handle it.
Yep.
And so I mean, to be willing to stay in jail,
Yeah.
that's pretty honorable, you
Yeah.
know.
Plus the timeline, there's still 2 more months before the start of trial. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said, I'd rather do that than have to wipe out Haley's college fund or
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So
I hope maybe
just,
that we get to know Bamba better. I felt like we knew him a little better in the books.
yeah, I think so.
Or it was just that was interesting to me how he set that up in the books. So yeah, he's comfortable staying because he does have some protection.
Yep.
But one thing I didn't like, I wondered if I missed something. It's just a minor detail, but when Bomba is telling him to try to sit at the front of the bus,
Hmm.
so that if something happens, the guards are right there. And he's like, well, what if they put me in the back of the bus? And he just kind of looked at him like, was
Yep.
that just like, oh, well, I can't do anything about that? Or was that supposed to mean something else? Or,
What I took that as is was basically if you're sitting in the back of the bus, God be with you type of thing.
yeah, okay.
You better
Like,
pray there's no riot that breaks
yeah,
out in the bus. So yeah.
okay, okay.
That's how I took it because I'm like,
No, okay, I
yeah,
can see
because
that.
Bamba
Yeah,
can't be around, like he said, he can't be around him 24/7.
true. Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. It's like he got so Mickey did get attacked from this guy at the table because he was recommending, if he gets brought in, he's got to name names and the
Mm-hmm.
client,
Snitch.
yeah, the client's like, well, I can't do that because and he doesn't say it, but it's taken as, oh, that's right, your lawyer probably works for the gangs, so if you were to rat anybody out, it'll get back to him, and he'll be dead anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
seeing that, but
I see what you're saying about Bomba. It's almost like, well, I can only give you advice, I can't
yeah,
control it. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like I'm hoping that things work out for Bamba.
Yeah.
And he comes, like I said, I loved his character. The character in the books was really good. He was there to
Mm-hmm.
help Mickey in the prison. Like I said, we didn't see that in this first episode. Mickey got attacked from this guy by being pushed on the ground and almost punched before they called for chow time. So it's like, okay, Bamba, are you really doing what you're supposed to be doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we first see him, he's got his headphones in his cell. It's like, come on, dude.
I mean, I guess we should talk about the thing that pulls you right into the next episode, even though I haven't been able to watch the next episode yet. But when
Hmm.
they do get the footage and that minor detail, that Cisco sees that Lorna doesn't see right away, that
Yes.
he pulls out he can't, before he can see that there's no plate on the
Yeah.
car.
Puts
I
it in gear
love
when Mickey's
those.
at the valet desk or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
leaving the restaurant last season. Yeah, I like those flashbacks too, to like going back to the story and the visuals from last year and putting the pieces together in a different way. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's why you want Cisco to be your investigator because he notices those little things,
Yeah.
right away. And it took Lorna a second. Yeah, so you start to feel like, oh, we got him. Let's go on to the next episode and see
Yep.
what happens,
Exactly.
next.
That's
The
why I'm
hook,
really
I
hoping.
guess.
Yep. That's why I'm really hoping that this Collins guy is involved somehow because it
Hmm.
wasn't that way in the book. So hey, let's mix it up a little bit.
Hmm.
I think we discussed briefly that we try to do like a trailer breakdown. Not really a breakdown, but any moments that caught your eye in the trailer. Is there anything that you could think of
Mm,
or not?
no, one thing that just stands out. I remember because when Maggie delivers that line, yeah, I'll say she's really tough, or however she said it, talking about Dana Berg.
Oh, yep.
It's just always interesting to me when you finally see those pieces of the trailer, turn up,
Yeah,
and what the context is. But
exactly.
no, I was basically just so excited for the show to come back. And
Yeah. I watched the trailer twice in the last 2 weeks. Usually it's like I'll dissect it all. And
hmm.
I did post some of the stills of the phrase when they do like the justice. what is it?
Oh, the taglines.
Taglines, yes. When they were doing the taglines for the trailer, I did screenshot those and put them on the Lincoln Lawyer Lounge page just
Hmm.
to get people's anticipation going. But the thing that the one I put in the comment section is the scene in the trailer where you have the gun aimed at the back of Cisco's head. I'm like, nothing better
Oh
happened to
yeah.
Cisco.
Yeah, I remember you brought that up. Yeah, no, for
Yes.
sure.
So that's the one thing that worries me. It's like I really
Hmm.
hope nothing bad happens to Cisco, obviously. Like you said, he's discovered the little clue where the guy put the car in park and put it in drive. It was
Yeah.
in park and he put it in drive. Hey, it's
Yeah.
late. I'm sorry, people. No.
It's a lot of details. It's a lot
Oh,
of
and it
details.
is. It is with the trailer. And then you, like I said, you finally get this first episode, you want to devour it, and it always goes by so quick. So every episode just goes by really quick where you're like, what? That's it. I know the episode is
Hmm.
50 some odd minutes, but I could have used a little bit more. So
Yeah, I hear you.
speaking of which, if there's nothing else on your notes, you want to move to the Sparks meter and
Let's do it.
let's do it. All righty. For those new listeners who we might have, we have a Sparks meter. We lost a dear friend a couple of years back. If it's been that long, I mean, it's been at least a year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
We lost Anne, who was a dear friend of the podcast and of all the shows, Michael Conley and the books. And so her Twitter handle was
Sparks Mom, something,
Sparks
is some
Mom.
kind of reference. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sparks Mom. So we created the Sparks meter to in her honor, 1 to 5 scale. One being, well, I mean, we could do somebody could do a zero. You never know.
You never
But
know.
0 to 5. So zero is you would never watch the show again or episode again. Five being the best episode ever. So I'm just kind of curious what you had rated for this first episode.
I'm gonna go with a 4. It was, obviously it was good. You're ready for the next episode. You got that hook at the
Yep.
end, but I think every season or any show, any new season, you've got to build things up and lay the groundwork in the first episode. So sometimes you leave wanting more, but you've got to get all those pieces in place, on the
Yep.
chessboard. So I think it was a good solid episode.
Yeah,
Four
I agree.
sparks.
4 sparks from you. I had a 4.25. Like I said, the camera shots, the camera angles. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it draws me in. I love seeing it. I mean, it's just that, and with all the plots, they move pretty quite well in this first episode. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
by the episode was being done, it's like, oh shoot, that's it. I gotta jump to the next one to see what's next. So,
Mm-hmm.
and plus the music got me going, like the California Sun
Yeah.
song, and yeah. So 4.5 or for 4.25 for me. So we're pretty close on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, do you want to play a game or do we want to?
I love games. I don't
You
like
love
losing
games.
games, but
Well, there's no one to
it's
lose to here. We don't
good.
have a third yet. Jay bailed on us. You introduced somebody to me that or haven't been introduced yet, but you brought up a name that we're hoping to see sometime in the next few episodes if she can
Yeah.
join us.
Yeah. That'll be
Tarsha.
fun. Tarsha.
Tarsha. So for me, you know me, I love trivia. I love the games you've brought into the mix, so I will be putting those into the mix here at some point. The quote game, I want to do that, and maybe some kind of lawyer speak or whatever. I remember a
Yeah.
couple of years back, you had like almost like a lawyer dictionary. You were saying, what's a lawyer term that starts with a D or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do want to try to bring that game back into the mix here and hopefully have somebody that we could play against. So,
Yeah.
so for me, trivia, people know me for trivia. So we're just going to throw some questions out to you. If you get them right, you can pat yourself on the back.
There you go.
Okay. While driving to LA, what did Maggie suggest Haley talk to her dad about?
Um, her microplastics report.
Nice. That is awesome. I love it. Right off the bat, it was sweet.
Well, there's one. Let's just go. There's one.
There's one
I
point.
got I got
Exactly.
one right. So
Um, just because it caught me off, not really caught me off guard, it made me look up stuff. I love looking up stuff. But did you catch the name of the bakery that was shown at the start of the episode?
I the bakery. Oh yeah. I have notes, but I'm not going to look at my notes. I'm just trying to remember, like La Cienta or something with an S,
What was the guess again? Sorry.
like La Cientia Bakery.
Very close. Yeah, actually, I think it is Serentia. No,
Okay, okay.
Serenita. The only reason I brought this up as a trivia question is because I Googled what the translation was
Yeah,
to
yeah, I don't know
English.
what it is.
The Little Mermaid. in England.
Ah,
So
interesting.
it's the Little Mermaid Bakery. So I kind of found that fun little
Cool.
trivia with a little
Hmm.
tidbit to boot. So let's
Nice.
see here. Since it was mentioned quite a few times,
Oh
and maybe
gosh,
the
I know.
title of the episode, what was Mickey's booking number? And you can check your notes for this
Oh,
just so you can get the
oh, I
numbers
can check
right.
my notes.
You can
Okay.
check your notes. Why not?
All right, let me try to say it. Let me try to remember it, and then I'll look at my notes. I think it was
Okay.
like 7211596. Okay,
Oh,
that's
so close.
okay.
It's nine,
Now let me
five,
look.
six of those last three. So close. I mean, I'll give you the point. You got,
Okay. Oh, 7211956.
hey, you
Okay.
said 596, so you were damn close. You had all the right numbers and only two of them out of place. So I'm gonna give you a point for that. So
I felt like I knew that was going to come up in any game we did.
yes,
So,
you know me. At least I'm not doing license plates in this one. It's like there was a few plates that
oh
popped up.
gosh.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no, Pete wasn't gonna be with us tonight. If so, I'd probably would have thrown a license plate one in there, or Jay. He likes doing the.
Yeah. I saw something with like a number or an address, and I was like, oh, but wait, I don't think Pete's with us tonight. So
Yes.
it's not going to be that detailed.
Oh, did you have any trivia that you want to throw
Oh,
out?
I just wrote
Oh,
down things I thought might come up as trivia.
okay.
So,
Okay, good. So Lorna brings a red and blue ties for Mickey to choose from, and she suggested the red tie because it projects power and confidence. He thinks the red is a little too confrontational. So what does he say
it
that the blue tie projects?
calm.
Bingo. Nice. And in that same section there, what did Cisco say the Judge Stone has a reputation of?
Oh, shoot. Um, like strong arming or I don't know.
Nope, being prickly.
Prickly. Okay.
Yes. So Lorna's like, so we kind of have to be on our best behavior.
There you go. Yeah,
Let's
forgot that
see.
one. I forgot that one.
No,
Yeah.
don't worry. Like I said, I like doing stuff that's kind of out there or kind of is repeated, like his booking number. We hear
Yeah.
it multiple times in the episode. So that was only just a one quick line. So
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one.
let's see here. I can't do that one because you mentioned it in the podcast, but I'm going to say it anyways. What does Rick do for Elena?
Oh, her agent.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, it's the
Yeah.
conflict of interest thing. So let's see here. And so the other thing I liked was seeing kind of Izzy kick back, relax. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna do all these questions, but so they meet up at Tabletop in Echo Park. I was trying to find out if that was an actual place because I'm like, hey, that'd be kind of fun to go play Pac-Man, stuff like that.
There is some place I read about that we didn't go to, but like something that was like had retro stuff
Hmm.
or remnants from the past or something. It sounded like similar. So I don't know if it's the exact same thing. Hopefully we can
Yeah,
find out.
hopefully.
But something, yeah, I think there's something like that.
Okay, so Izzy meets Grace there, and Grace asks if she wants to have a mocktail because Izzy says she's not a drinker.
Hmm.
And what game does Grace currently hold the high score on that they were going to go play together?
Centipede.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Good
love
job.
that game.
Oh, you
That's
do?
like, oh, that's totally my generation. I think she used to work at the grocery store by our house, and like she would play that game, and she may have had even had a record on it or whatever. But she got me to liking it. And we'd go play miniature golf, putt putt, and go in the arcade. I really liked Centipede.
Nice.
Do you know the
And
game?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
love Centipede. I think I played it on the Atari back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
actually recently my wife and I went out for like a date day for our anniversary a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a month ago now, actually. Actually, it is a month ago. We went to a mall just to walk around to kill some time because we were going to see the Avatar movie in 3D at an IMAX theater near the mall, and they had like the centipede game where you have like the guns that you're shooting
Oh yeah.
like right in front of you type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like a
Yeah.
big screen arcade thing. I don't know if that was the one that was here or not in this show or not. We
Oh
didn't see
yeah. I don't
them
know.
playing the game. So one more quick question before we wrap up our trivia section is when talking with Elena, Mickey says that he's eaten a particular item from the commissary store. What is he eating?
Ramen.
Good job. Nice. That is awesome. Good job on that. So
That's
yeah,
fun.
that was fun. So next time, like I said, we're going to try to mix up the games a little bit and hopefully have
Okay.
another person join in here and there too. It's always fun to have three or four just to kind of kick around the episode a little bit more.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
everybody's got different opinions. So somebody might say, hey, I hated that scene that you liked or whatever. So, and that'll wrap up our discussion about this episode of The Lincoln Lawyer. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Lincoln Law Pod, which is a part of So Many Shows and SoManyShows.com. Our website is currently down for maintenance at the moment, so please check YouTube for updates for our podcasts and when they drop. We've been having a fun time covering these seasons and these episodes. Also, keep an eye open for the constantly dropping mashup podcasts in which we discuss a variety of shows. If you haven't already, please be sure to follow us on our socials at Lincoln Law Pod on Twitter and Instagram, all one word. You can also follow at So Many Shows on X and Twitter as well. Another platform to find our podcast is the Lincoln Lawyer Lounge on Facebook group page. We sincerely appreciate your listenership, and we can't wait to talk to you on the next one. And with that, we'll say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
And talk to you on the next one, everybody. Have a great week.